Okay, this is kind of funny because I've never used a charger for a car before that's not in our house. We have a Volvo that is actually Tyler's work car, and I navigated to REI, which is like 45 minutes away, navigated back, and it said I was going to show up at home with like 15% battery, which is pushing it. I'll admit, probably shouldn't have done that. But I navigated back home and it said I was going to be at 4%, so I was like, okay. I should probably find one of these little charging stations, and it took me a little bit to figure it out because the cable is different than the one at home, but we got it in. We're at 24% already, so we'll see. I think I'll probably sit here for about 45 minutes, so we've got lots to talk about. While we're here, I'm gonna do a Q&A request on IG. So the first question is from Jada. It says, if you could only choose one form of exercise, what would you do? And that's super hard. I'm gonna say hiking because I love trail running, I love running, I love lifting, but I think hiking is something that I could do literally for the rest of my life and be so excited about getting the opportunity to do it, because that includes trekking and backpacking, so it feels like a multiple sport choice, which is kind of cheating. But I'm gonna say hiking is the form of exercise that I would choose to do forever if I could only pick one. Thanks for the question, Jada. Mia asked, tips for training with a full-time job. Good grief. Okay, this is something that we could do a whole episode on because truthfully, I was in the military for 7 years, which is over a full-time job. I was in the OR 7 days a week on call. Obviously, I quit my corporate job, but I've taken on so many different jobs that I'm working more than I ever have before. So my number one tip for training with a full-time job is going to be prioritization and also scheduling ahead of time. The last thing you want to do when you have a busy schedule is to just try and fly by the seat of your pants. Instead, plan out your week on a Sunday or on a Monday. Figure out exactly how you're going to prioritize your time and backwards plan. So if you know that you have a 3-hour workout on a Saturday and you're training for an ultra marathon, how is that Saturday going to look around that training? You prioritize what you need to accomplish at the very, very start of your day. You try and figure out where that's going to fit in your day versus, it being 2 o'clock and you wondering how you're going to fit it in with kids' soccer practice, with work, etc. So that's my number one recommendation, is just to pre-plan out your week as far as training load goes, but then also to just prioritize. Treat your training as if it's part of your job, right? Or if it's its own specific part-time job. You have to prioritize these things and you have to work your life around training in order to fit it in sometimes. It's not always going to be the most convenient. Truthfully, like for me, training is not ever convenient. I could always be doing something else, but I have to prioritize my training because it's going to be the thing that not only makes me feel extremely satisfied with my life, but is also something that makes me more productive in my daily life, makes me have a better relationship with my husband, be a better dog mom to my dogs. I know that training has to take priority in my life for me to be the best Amanda. And last but not least, I don't make excuses for myself. And of course, there are things that happen and we need to be flexible with life events. But truthfully, I have non-negotiables in my daily life, and training is one of them. Training is different than exercising. Exercising is just kind of monotonous working out, or it's healthy, but it doesn't have structure to it. Training has a very specific goal, and that is for me to get me to Leadville 100 and feel as productive and as prepared as possible. So I take it very seriously, and if you have extremely ambitious goals, you might have to take it really seriously as well. But plan your day out, don't fly by the seat of your pants, prioritize, and make sure that you are fitting it in your daily life. So I hope that helps. Thank you so much, Mia, for your question. I was asked, do you have any long-term side effects from your cancer treatments? And the answer is yes. Specifically, my autoimmune disease, so lichen planus is what I have, an extreme case of erosive lichen planus in my mouth and also on my skin. So you guys know I have scars all over my body from my autoimmune disease. And then also, I don't talk about it very often, but I have recurring autoimmune flare-ups in my mouth. It's very regular and they're incredibly painful. And I don't really share it too often because it's a little bit embarrassing, and I wish I was not embarrassed by it, but it makes my speech impacted. It's honestly looks very gross, but it's just one of those things that I deal with on the daily. There are also hormonal impacts from it. My fertility has been impacted. My progesterone levels are absolutely trash. We could go on and on and on and list all the things I have. I went through 2 different cancers and 2 different cancer treatments. So actually more than 2 different cancer treatments, but I went through 2 major cancer treatments, and both of them have left me with lifelong side effects. So definitely not enjoyable, but it's just part of the process of being a survivor. Someone asked, best app for learning to run marathons, if there is one. I'm going to say one-on-one coaching is just far superior to any app that you get out there. Oftentimes these apps are just selling like these cookie cutter programs, but as someone who's unbiasedly going to pick coaching and one-on-one coaching every single time, that's what I would do. And if you're interested in one-on-one coaching from me, shameless plug, I will leave the link in the description below. I am taking on a few more clients for the month of May. I train hybrid athletes, so people who are interested in lifting and training for endurance at the same time. It could be for races, it could be just for life, but that is my style of training. I will always incorporate lifting for my runners and suggest workouts that are going to help build your performance as well as your overall health. So I'll leave that link down below for you guys for one-on-one coaching. Okay, that is gonna wrap up our quick Q&A while we charge. Let's go unplug this thing. There we go. Put that guy back. I did stop at REI to pick up a few things. For one, I needed to replace my ice axe because I did use my ice axe this winter to break the ice in my cold plunge, which you guys know, and it got rusty because of the amount of use that it got. So I replaced it with 52 centimeter ice axe. I think the one I had is actually a little bit bigger, so this is actually gonna be perfect. This is for Whitney. And then I replaced a pair of shorts. So I got these craft shorts, which are so freaking cute. I don't think I've ever purchased anything from Craft, but they are like the split short, which I absolutely love, and this color is just absurd. So I got a small in these originally, but I 100% need the extra small. So I'm excited to have these, try these out in a size that actually fits me. So that was a return and replace, aka free, if you're following girl math. Well, thank you for coming along for a little REI pickup and a unplanned little charging Q&A. I'm so excited to film tomorrow, so I will see you guys in the morning and see you guys in the workout. Some Brady miles in this morning. It's cold. My eyes are absolutely watering. Brady miles are always a little unpredictable with speed, but generally try and stay in zone 2. We have a 45-minute run this morning, just easy on the road, and then strength later today. These cows are my absolute favorite. They're Highland cows. Let me show you. Look how cute. They're eating their breakfast. Okay, so we just wrapped up a strength workout in the gym. So this morning I did a 5-mile run, just easy with Brighton, and then popped in for a strength workout. So this was my first full body training session of this prep. So we started with a full circuit, starting with hammies and glutes, and then we added some abs at the end of that circuit. So we did a full circuit of hammies, glutes, and then abs. And then our secondary circuit is where we got some more power movements for chest. So this was technically a chest structured day. So we started with chest press on the flat bench. Then we went into step ups immediately after, which were on the bench as well. So step ups on the bench, moving into single arm dumbbell rows, and then finishing up with leg lifts. So each of these circuits was 10 reps, right around 10 reps. I went a few more if I felt like I needed it, and then circled through those circuits 4 times. And then for our third circuit, we went through tricep extensions, some shoulder work, and then we finished off with abs as well. Once again, 4 sets and 10 reps to 20 reps of each of those. So how these strength workouts are structured is based on full body movements. We're incorporating a lot of individual movements for each individual body part, and the goal is to increase blood flow from, for example, our chest to our legs within the same circuit. So our body's getting used to having to pull blood from our shoulders immediately down to our legs and then back up to our abs. So that wraps up our training sessions for today, a run and a strength workout, and I leave in 2 days for Mount Whitney. So I will be summiting that in one push, so one day up and back down. The starting elevation for Mount Whitney is 8,500 and it works up to 14.5, I believe. But I'm really excited to summit that and spend some time in California and come back with some elevation gain under my belt, feeling really good and ready to continue training for Leadville. So thank you so much for joining us for another week of chasing Leadville. We are now officially moving in to 14 weeks out. So I'll catch you next time after we summit Mount Whitney. Have a great rest of your day. Like, subscribe, follow, all the things.